Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Kunal Patel, and in continuation with our Panda series, right? This is my second video. So, in my first video, we explored that how to install Pandas library and some basic functions like head function, tail function, info function, describe function, right? Set option function. So, these are the basic functions we have covered in my first video. Now, as we discussed in my first session that Pandas provides two important data structure. One is the data frame and another one is the series, right? And because of that, it can perform the data manipulations functions in a faster and easy way, right? So let's start with our journey. In this video, we are going to talk about the two important data structures, that is data frame and series, right? So we first start with the data frame. So data frame is the key data structure in Pandas, right? So it allows us to store and manipulate tabular data as a two-dimension data structure. So it is a 2D tabular format. It contains the rows and columns, right? And it provides a rich feature set of the data frames. Okay, right? So in that, you can perform the data statistics operations. You can do the slicing, you can do the grouping, you can do the merging, you can concatenate two data frames. Okay, right? So let's first of all start how you can create the particular data set. So before going to that, we are going to discuss the particular syntax of this particular data frame, right? So in this video, in this particular data frame syntax, first argument we have as a data, right? So it is created the data frame object for the input of the data, right? And it can be anything. It can be a list, it can be a dictionary, it can be a series, it can be a numpy array, right? So numpy is a one again wonderful thing that we discuss later on, or any other format, right? So this is the input data. The second argument is index. So index has the row labels, right? It contains the row labels. Third argument is columns. It is used to create the column labels. So as we know that we are going to deal with the two-dimension data. So it contains the rows and columns, right? So for rows, there are index argument, and for columns, there is columns argument. Next argument is a data type, D type, right? So it is used to specify the data type of each column, which type of data it is. And it is the optional parameter. If you want, then you can provide, otherwise leave it. And the last argument is a copy argument, right? So it is used for copying the data, if any. If you want to copy the data, so you can use it, right? So this is about the syntax. Now there are lots of ways, there are many ways to create the data frames, okay? But the powerful ways to the first one by one we'll see how you can create the particular data frame, okay? But the first of all, we start with the dictionary, right? So as we know that dictionary is a key value pair, okay? So now we start with the creating data frame using dictionary. So here I have created one dictionary for me, right? So the name of its students, right? So here I am going to provide the name, branch, and email. Okay. So here you can, this is a single value. So if you execute, then also you can create that, right? But suppose if you want to create with the multiple values, okay, so that also you can create with the by providing a list of values, right? So you can also create with the single value, or you can create with the multiple value. So here you can see that I have provided the list of name, branch, and email addresses of these each of the students. Okay. Now, if I execute this code, okay, then my students dictionary is created. Now, what we can do with that, right? So we start with the import pandas as PD. Okay. Then we are creating the data frame. df is equals to PD dot data frame. Okay. In that, as per our structure of data frame, we have syntax of data frame we have discussed, we need to provide the input data. So here we are going to provide the input data as students. Okay. Then my dictionary is my data frame is created. Now suppose if I print the df, then you can see over here that with this index 0 1 2 3 4 name, branch, and email, my data frame is generated. So here you can see it is a two-dimensional data structure, right? It provides the two-dimensional view of my data with the rows and columns, Okay. Now, this way you can do it. Now, it individual single columns is considered as a series. This is that creates the data frame. So if you type the particular uh, type of these, like suppose say for a name, okay, then what is the type of, sorry, it is a name, right? So if you print that it is a series, right? So a single column, it's a series, right? So as we know that series is a one dimension data, okay? So here, if you print the type, then you will print it. Now, if I want to print the values, right? So df dot, you can print the name of that, and you can see over here, it is providing the type of is the object name 0 1 2 3 4 is the index, and here is the provided name. So similarly you can print the branch also, right? So you will get the branch of each and every student. Okay. And similarly you can print the email also of each and every students. Okay. Now what you can do that, you can also print like this, the name, right? So output of both will be the same. Okay, but which is the better way? You can see over here, both the methods are giving output same, right? So which is the better? So I would suggest that this one is the better way to print the values of particular column, right? So why it is so? Suppose, for example, if my column name is a count, or if my column name is a max, right? And if I do df.max over here or df.count over here, then it will consider it as a inbuilt method, right? Or inbuilt property. Then there will be a conflict between that, right? So always I would recommend that you should go for this method to print the values of column. Okay. Now suppose if I want to print the multiple column values, this is a single, so I want that I want to print the particular values of student's name and branch I want to display. Okay. So what you can do over here, as it is a data frame, you need to provide the list of it. Okay. Right. And if I execute it, so you will get that name and branch. Okay, name and branch. So you can also display a specific column. You can also display the value of specific columns, right? Now if I just want to display the columns, then there is a method, it known as the columns. Okay, so as you see that if I execute it, then it will display only the name of columns, only the name of columns. Okay, so this way you can print the particular values of columns. Now suppose if I want to access the rows, right? So how I can access the rows? So for that we have two important methods. Okay, so here one method is lock, and another method is the iLock. Okay, so these are the two particular methods we have to access the rows. Now let's go for each one by one how we can access. So here you can provide the particular access the rows using integer location. This is also known as integer location. Okay, it is integer location, right? It is also known as the indexed location, right? And here in LOC, you can provide the labels. LOC, you can provide the labels, okay? Labels, right? So now let's, you can say access our students data. So if I write df dot lock, okay, and into that I can provide the 0, right? So it will provide the first row value. So the name is Krunal, branch is IT, and email is this. Okay, right? Now here you can see that I can provide index if here is the column name. Index here is the column name. Okay, so now let's print the first two rows of the data, right? Like df dot ilock of 0 comma 1. Then it will print the first two rows. It will print the first two rows. Okay, and based on that, if we want to select the columns, okay, then how you can define the values for the particular column, that is let me print df dot ilock, right, 0 comma 1, and I need to provide the column. Okay, so df, so you can see first two rows and the column is email, and the column is email. So here you can see Kunal and John at the rate gmail.com. John at the rate gmail.com. Are we clear with this? Okay. Now here first row with the label 0. So here we have a label. Our row labels are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So in my next video, we'll see how you can change that labels, right? But right now we have a label 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So if I want to access the first and second row, then what I can do, df.loc into bracket 0 comma 1, and if I print, then again you can see that we can define with the labels, but right now we have a label 0 and 1, that's why you are not getting any difference over here. Okay, right? But if some names are there like A or B, then you can provide here A and B instead of zeros and ones. Okay, right? And let me show you one example, that if I want to print with the use of LOC first two values, right, but with the email, let me print this. So here we are providing the label instead of zeros and ones also. So for a specific label you can print the values, right? So these are the two important methods we have. These are the two important methods we have, right? Again, let me take one example again, so you will get the clear idea how you can print it. Suppose zeros and ones. Now the column is, I want to define a name and I want to define a uh, branch over here, right? So let's execute this. Okay, sorry. Mm, let's execute again. Again, we need to provide the list because we want more than one columns, right? Then where is the error? This is 0, 1, comma. There is no error here. Okay, there is a mistake. So this you need to check, right? Again, where you are making a mistake. So here you can see this is simplified. So this like this you can get the you can access the datas of your particular data set, right? So we will see some other function in my next video. Okay, please subscribe for the new updated video.